Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. It is May the 1st. In England, it is May Day. In Ireland, Isle of Man, Scotland, it is Bealtaine. Very interesting day. Used by Satanists for bad reasons, but also it's the time of the light. So be careful that you're not giving any kind of commitments to any kind of pretend kings this week. But use today to manifest and get out into nature. That's my advice. Also, in 2 days, President Trump is coming to Ireland. So I may well be trying to give him a copy of my book, which, if you haven't seen it yet, is here. And he does play quite a prominent part in this book. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? But all that aside, today I'm very happy. It is early in the morning for me. I'm very happy to welcome back the lovely Venus twins from Australia. How you doing, girls?
Very well.
Thanks,
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Lovely to see you again.
Glamorous as always.
Oh, we try our best. We're in black today. It's a bit morose, but we'll try and keep the smiles going.
We're running out of outfits on the top.
Yeah,
I can see what's on the top.
Every time I do a video, I go, I can't wear that. I've worn that about 1,000 times, but I don't have a massive wardrobe.
I don't think I've seen that.
Could be, something like an Ugg boot down there, or
maybe two.
You're sharing boots.
It's very unglamorous under this table. We're telling you right now.
Yeah, the truth is funny. So what have you guys been up to? How's it going?
It's going well. We've been extremely busy.
Yeah, healing a lot of people who've had jab. It's keeping us very busy. Seems to have become our main focus now and intention, really.
Mm-hmm.
Still busy though with readings and healings, but that is been more of the focus now, which is wonderful. So the word's getting out. Thank you as well for mentioning us in the Canary Islands. That was really cool, because we do have solutions.
Yeah, I should tell that story for people who haven't heard it, because I think I only spoke about it on Telegram, and not everybody's on Telegram. You guys watching, all the links are below this video. Get on Telegram. I'm daily there, daily on Twitter. If I'm quiet on YouTube, I'm often on Rumble. I did 2 shows last night that were not on this channel, so keep up with, get on my email list as well. If you want to, there's no obligation. There's no obligation to doing it. I'm reeling a little bit because somebody put a big essay about how much I'm a dickhead on my Telegram channel today, and I don't pay attention. I don't normally pay attention to trolls, but sometimes it just makes you go, ugh, why am I doing that? But anyway, so yeah, I was in Tenerife, and they were slagging me off for going to Tenerife with my boys.
That's right. They're very.
Who slags you off for taking your kids on holiday? I don't get it. But anyway, I was in Tenerife, and I was walking down the street, and I saw a row of places where you could go and hire boats and go on dolphin trips and all that kind of stuff. But I just went directly to this one. I just knew I had to go to this one, and there was a lovely lady behind the counter, and within a minute of talking, she asked me about this and the whole period, and she explained how Spain and Tenerife, the Canary Islands, is part of Spain, even though it's off the coast of Africa, how it was like a police state and how she hated it. But she started telling me how unwell she was and how many of her friends had either dropped dead or were seriously unwell, and she was really worried because she'd been reading about this. And so immediately I was like, well, this is an amazing conversation that was obviously meant to happen. It's interesting that this person wants to talk to me about it. And she actually said this conversation was meant to be. And I was like, okay. And she said, well, what can I do about it? And I just went, well, there's a bunch of people with help out there. So I mentioned you guys. I mentioned Dr. Christiane Northrup, and I can't remember who else I mentioned, but there is a lot of help out there. And this sort of all aligns in with the messages I've been getting, which started really with the video that I did on Twitter that went viral about the fact that although there's a bunch of us that knew the whole thing was a psyop, a genocide attempt, although we knew that, we've still got to be here for the ones that got duped. which is why I'm opening up a healing centre in 4 weeks here in Ireland, which I'm hoping will be a bridge of healing, which will start with hyperbaric oxygen chambers, which have been around since 1661. You know, you can't deny they've got a long history of being incredible for healing, and it's a 3D bridge, I think, to all the magical stuff like this, and all the
It's really
frequencies.
exciting that that's happening too now, Mark. I was talking to a client today and giving her hope, because she was a little bit, feeling down about finding out stuff. She was new on the journey of awakening, and she was finding out a lot of stuff about the jabs too, and she had taken them. She's someone that we helped to remove the harmful stuff from her. And I was saying to her, this reality is changing. It's up to us all together to change it.
Let's remember this is going on YouTube, so we've got to be careful about misinformation.
Yes.
Just a little reminder. Carry on.
Okay. Yes, we've got,
So I was just telling her that there is so much hope and that things are changing, and it's up to all of us to manifest that change and create it together. And we are seeing it. We're actually seeing it happening, not just talk about it, but happening. And you're one of those people that's making it happen now, which is really exciting.
Well, I did a show with the guys on Truth Stream last night, and before the call, they were asking me, "Have you noticed weird things going on, the veil dropping?" And I was literally 5 minutes before they asked me the question, I was outside trying to find the stars amongst the clouds last night, and there were flashes of light going on in the sky, and I was like, "What is that?" This is like 11 o'clock at night, and they were talking about being in a bar and having a good night, but then they both said at the same time that they noticed that people were staring at them in a really weird way, and their feeling was that these were NPCs, and they were kind of like, it's like that scene in the Body Snatchers movie with Donald Sutherland, when they just sort of go like that. They're pointing at them. And actually, I was looking at Twitter this morning, and there's videos coming out of Dublin that are just beyond ridiculous. There's a guy walking down the street naked in Dublin, and a guy following him saying, "Get out of my country," and guys with machetes in these villages in Dublin. It's insane.
This is mental.
What's going on? Yes. Are you getting any information from the 9 about anything that's going on right now?
Well, yes, we have got some information that we'd like to share with everyone today.
Let's just recap where that's coming from for people that might not have seen you, please.
Sure. We've got it, actually. It's a direct message from them, channeled message from a group called the Andromedan Council of 9, and Georgie can read it out because she's got it there in front of her.
Claire and I are both channels for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, just for people that might not have ever seen you, what is
these? We're psychic channels and psychic mediums, and they chose us because we're part of this council, and in our other metaphysical selves, and we're avatars here, they tell us, and we operate up there in that capacity. So it seems very, very strange, but this is what we were told, and we've had information that was coming into our readings independently of each other that matched. So we had no way. It was like they were giving us the help to trust each other and the proof.
Yeah. So they told us that we were from Venus when we first started to connect with them independently, and that we were identical twins on Venus, and that's why we call ourselves the Venus twins, or they named us that.
They did, yeah.
So we've channeled a lot of information from them over the last 2 years that we've known each other and been on an incredible journey.
This has been a 2-year journey for us. So
it's only 2
please
years
excuse us if we stumble a bit with our words and stuff like that, because we're not used to this. I was a nurse for most of my life, and I lost my job, obviously, because of the mandates, and professional singer. And Georgie was working as a professional dancer, and
when I was younger, and then running a business later on.
So this has all come in really quickly.
Big change.
By the way, Has my book arrived yet?
No.
I have no idea how long it's going to take. It costs like 60 quid to send each one to Australia. I'm like, this is mad. And the woman said, the woman at the post office counter said, this probably won't get there for about 3 months. And I went, I know, it's mad.
Sometimes you can fluke it and it gets here fast. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. I think some post goes on the boat and some goes on the plane. But let me know when you get it. Let me know when you get it.
Yeah, we're excited.
And do me a favor, if you could, when you get it, if you like it, even if you don't like it, do a video review for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So from our course, Return to Sovereignty in God, that we will talk a little bit more about later, this is an excerpt from the Council of Andromeda.
We wanted to confirm for you too, Mark, that you are a member of that council.
Well, that's whoa. No,
founder of it.
Yeah,
not just a founding member.
Yeah. So we channeled this today. You mentioned it to us last time we spoke that you got that message from somewhere else, and we did get that confirmed today that you are one of the founding members of the Andromedan Council of Nine. So you're an ancient being, as you know, and one of the main things that these beings do is spread the word of God, the light and the love of God throughout wherever they are. So whatever planet we happen to be working on. So we're spreading it to all the beings of this planet, and you're doing it through your poetry and your work that you do internationally and where you are. So
does it explain why I'm so mischievous and I do knob jokes all the time? that is something about me that I'm like, I'm like a naughty schoolboy all the time, and I'm like,
we must have been in the same class then, mate.
Maybe it's because when you're an ancient soul, you've done this so many times that you just want to make it a bit more fun next time you come back.
That's exactly what I said to myself when I was a kid. I was like, I was in this village, and I was like, I can't stay here. What am I doing in this fucking village? And I was like, I've got to get out. And then a jet flew by, and I was like, right, that'll do. I'll get on that. So I did that, and I got in the Air Force. And then I was like, well, I've done that now. I need to do something else. And then I did all these different things. And I remember going for a job interview because I was broke in Manchester when I was about 22. And the guy was blown away by me in the interview. But then I rang. He said, ring us by 5. And I was in this bar celebrating. I got the job. And I rang the guy, and he said, no, we've had to think about it. It doesn't add up. And I went, what do you mean it doesn't add up? He said, it's not possible that you could have done all these things and you're only 22. And I went, but it's all true. I was like,
yeah, it's hard to know what to write on your resume. I was a bit the same. Like my first attempt at studying nursing ended the day we did enemas, I think. I went, no. I'd write, time for me to go to Queensland in my car in the middle of the night or something silly like that. But that's what I lived,
I mean, you've given me lots of information over time, and it resonates. Most of it resonates. But one thing I'm interested to discuss before you go on to what you've been channeling is, over the last 3 years, there's been a lot of mediums and channelers, and we've all a lot of us that are awake have looked for people that are giving info. I was watching a video by Psychic LJ this morning, who I like, and listening to what she's got to say. And and there's great tarot readers. Obviously, I know Janine, but there's also that lovely Scottish lady who I also listen to and share her stuff, whose name I can't remember right now, but I will find it out. Somebody will remind me in the comments, I'm sure. There has been a lot of stuff that hasn't come to pass or hasn't rung true. Is that people channeling from deceivers in different dimensions, or is it the fact that timelines have changed and things have moved and shifted, or is it something else? And what do you say to people about how they discern what's true and what's not true?
That's such an awesome question. And we both experienced that ourselves. Unfortunately, but it was a great lesson for us in discernment and learning along the way, because as we just mentioned earlier, we're really new to all this. So we believe it's timelines. There's so many that are going on as time is speeding up at the moment. a lot of people are noticing this. So we've been on quite a few different trajectories, so to speak, and we have been warned at the last minute, like so many times, that we can't say a certain bit of information. It'll come in, no, you're on the wrong timeline, or no, you've been messed around with by lower vibrational entities, which can just jump in really quickly if you're not in the flow.
And if you're not in the highest vibration at the time. So we have to really look after ourselves.
Some days we can't do it. We can't channel. We're just, we're too tired, too exhausted, or whatever it might be, you know.
Well, I'm the same with this show. You know, I put things in diaries. I try really hard to keep all my commitments. But sometimes I'm just like, I can't do it today. I've got to go and do something else. But recently, I think this year, I mean, one of the reasons why that book is like 2020 to 22, this book, is because I see that as a very distinct period of time, and you know, and I deliberately called it spiritual war poetry but I'm not writing anything like that anymore. It's like it was started with anger and you know, and righteous indignation, but by the end of it, it's moving towards unity and love and all of that, and right now
protests, you know,
and then,
we were
and Mark, diary of your ascension.
Totally.
Well, that's why I did it in a hardback, because I thought it should be. Yeah, but again, I was being slagged off for that today. Like, it's just making money. That people have no idea how much it costs to put something like this together. It's like, and to post it, and so all of that. But anyway, I'm not getting bothered by them today, honestly. But the timeline stuff I was discussing with Huna Flash yesterday. Have you heard of Huna Flash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, my relationship with him's been very interesting over the last 2 years. How that's initially, I was like, "What's this guy talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about. This can't be real." You know, this is like 3 years ago. Then now, I'm, you know, I was signing this book in Manchester, and people were saying, "Who's it to?" Mary. Who's it to? Maureen. Who's it to? Marjorie. And I kept going. Hang on, you're in another Ma, and Mark Attwood, Ma, Manchester.
Yeah, the sound.
You know, my first house is in Markinson Street, Morocco,
Mar-a-Lago,
Maghreb, Mar-a-Lago, it's everywhere. Mary Magdalene, it's just everywhere, right? And so, you know, there's a lot to. But I had lots of people telling me that you can't trust him. He's working for the dark. He's doing this with the portals and all of that. And I was like, is he? Is he really? And then other people saying, "Oh, you can't speak to this person. You can't speak to that person." I was like, but I'm getting a different feeling. I'm, you know,
that's why.
And I had to eventually follow my feeling and have my own discernment. Also with myself, you know, I've constantly questioned, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Is it my ego? What is it? You know, but it honestly isn't. And it's like getting to the point where you stand firm like an oak tree. You know, this amazing woman, Carol Marine Friesen, I had in Manchester and at the Irish dinner. I met her on the American tour, and she taught me to put my feet straight. She stripped this so that I have no blinkers on. She kept pumping me full of this stuff, which is rapé, which is amazing. Sometimes makes you seem like you're high but it's not. It's just herbs and tobacco that you
know, maybe
you know, but really, really strange things have also happened. Like, I've felt them shift. I've literally felt them as they've shifted. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I lost 4 hours. Literally lost 4 hours. I looked at the clock, and then I looked at it a few seconds later. 4 hours.
Yeah, weird things like the blind up when it wasn't. And I'm like, no. My dog's dollies, you know, on the floor when 5 minutes before they were up on the table. Like, I'm jumping all the time.
Well, yesterday, my son said to me, "Dad, when did you put the blind in the bathroom?" And I went, and it was halfway down the window, and I was like, I don't remember there ever been a blind here. But I turned to him and I said, I think it's always been there. And he went,
the way you're looking at it.
I know. And I was like, because I don't want to freak him out. And he said, no. He said, no, there's never been a blind there, Dad. And I was like, what's going on?
What on earth is happening in my home?
We've all been on a big journey of change. too.
Yes.
Claire and I have been on a massive journey of change, haven't we?
Yeah, totally.
And
like
the amount that we have changed in the last 2 years, we can't even describe. And then
we're not
particularly
unique in that though.
Particularly recently, though.
Just as I mentioned him, he rings me.
Who now?
No, my son.
Oh, sorry. Oh, your
Hang on.
son.
I'm just gonna
The
tell him.
blind guy. The blind guy.
I'm just doing a show. I'll be ready. I'll be finished in about half an hour. Yeah, okay. I'll see you in a minute.
Let's read about this.
Bye. That's the classic. He's upstairs and he says, "Can you send me some money? Can you send me some money?"
Yeah, you can do it.
You keep talking because I've got
right,
to just.
We wanted to talk about. We want to talk about our course. We may as well get into that because we're reflecting back on our website today, like our mission statement, and the message that the 9 gave us. And
which seemed totally far-fetched at the time.
Yeah,
we were channeling all this info that was going on.
This was
on our
2
website.
years ago. They said together, meaning us two, will heal the world and train healers to help keep the world healthy and free of disease. And back then we're like, that's a big statement. What really are they talking about? Like helping train healers? Like we'd only just, completed our Reiki 1 and 2 ourselves. We're like, okay, big statement. But anyway, we were still, in training, learning how to channel through them at that stage, and how to do these miraculous, beautiful healings, taking the stuff out of the ones who took it. In the space of in 2 years, we created, this business and learned how to work with these beautiful, benevolent, galactic beings. And the message from the guides was amazing on the website. Another part that we'll read out. We will offer healings this is on our website, but this is what people are going to be able to do with our course, which is called Return to Sovereignty and God. And we'll get to that in a minute. So you'll be able to offer healings that will change the DNA of these people to pure crystalline DNA. In fact, the healings will even change the dimension that they reside in from the 3rd to the 5th. This is possible with God's love in their hearts, shining the light of God within their hearts in such a glorious way that the structures of their cells will change. This is a loving miracle and is available to everyone that was coming to see us, but who does this course. We know that anyone who does this course will be healed in the name of the one true living God, his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, and the divine Holy Spirit.
I was reading this, which was just in a section of our website called A Message from Our Guides. And at the time, I remember we were both questioning them, saying, are you sure we can put this on a website? Like, people are going to think we're a bit nuts. And now I read it and I get goosebumps all over my body reading it, because it's exactly what we've been doing. It's exactly how things have happened. And I looked at it and thought, whoa.
There's no doubt.
This was a couple of years ago, and now the journey has just happened so rapidly, and things have just unfolded in such an incredible way that we're now spreading the message out there to humanity that we have an answer for those who are struggling with the damage that's being done to them.
Yep.
And
you don't need to be a healer yet, even to do this course. You can, if you feel like you want to help the world and you're guided and you feel it in your heart that you can
resonate with this.
Yeah, that's right. You can do it. Yeah. You only need prerequisite of Reiki 1 and 2, and you can purchase the course online. The course is completely 100% online, so you can do it in your own time for anywhere in the world.
I'm going to put a link below the video for that. How many hours long is it? Is it videos? Is it written stuff? What's the format?
You want to go, Georgie?
It's a 10-module course, completely online. There's lots of PDFs. There are lots of videos. So every single module has an introductory video where Claire and I explain things in layman's terms to people, and extra things from our own experience of doing these healings for the last couple of years.
And there are the channel teachings, which are the main components of each module, which are divine and very high vibrational. So you'll be going on a beautiful healing journey. The healer needs to go on this journey before they can heal themselves, before they can heal anyone else.
And that happens doing
I
this.
qualified to do this because I did Reiki 1 and 2, so I'm gonna.
We're going to send you a link.
Yeah.
But today there's a voucher for anyone who's, sorry to interrupt you, Georgie. There's a voucher. Sorry.
I'm used to it. That's okay.
We work together in here every day. Like
we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, we
like
do.
Real twins.
We're kind of becoming twins now. It's weird.
Yeah, and anybody watching this that says I'm talking over them, there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, that's the reason. Don't have a go at me. Carry on.
Right. There's a voucher for anyone who wants to purchase it today through this show and through Mark. It's called, the voucher is Mark 10, capital MARK 10. It'll give you 10% off the course, which costs $1,111.11. It's a very strange price. We didn't write it. The 9 gave us the price, and we feel
it's an angelic number.
I mean, look, people. I got the same thing with my events and stuff, and it was like, you know, how much should I charge for this gala dinner? And I got 222.22, and then on the night there were 222 people there. It's like,
oh, wow.
Well, our course is exactly 77 pages.
Well, check this out. So when we were editing this, we finally decided to print, and I was working with Abby Wynn because she was helping me, and we decided to print the 17th version by accident, of the 17th amend. And then when I turned up at the monastery to collect these, because they were delivered to Manchester, I stood there counting the boxes, and I went 1, 2, 3, 17 boxes. I mean,
playing jokes like this, it's so much fun. Like we've been like, we love it. We love the synchronicity.
Well, these signs cheer you up and keep you going. So this morning I was, you know, I am a sensitive soul, and I got this nasty thing on Telegram, and I was sat outside going, why do I bother? And then I was like, hang on a minute, don't be put aside by this. But then I got this immediately. I got that. I got this. I'll just show you a bit of this.
Okay, Mark, we're all here doing the big book reveal, and so God wins.
So that's the Truth Tour, guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
Truth Tour, guys. They're out in Hawaii, and then I just burst into tears. You know, so you're not.
Oh, bless.
That's all we needed. And we're the same, you know, things get tough sometimes for us. Sometimes we get a lot of criticism or negative responses to things too. And then we get an incredible testimonial from someone or a message from someone. And we've got a few of those we'd like to read out. We'd love to read.
I've seen, you know, people have written to me about you saying I had an amazing session with the Venus Twins and thank you so much for introducing me. And it's like, okay, we're doing good stuff here. But you get these attacks. Where do they come from? Because I'm seeing people say, oh, we're in it, like Honey C. Golden. I'm talking to her later this week because she's been out there saying we Earth ascended without us. We're in a facsimile place at the moment, and all the demons and everything's gone, and all the entities are gone. But I'm like, well, so where are all these idiots coming from? Because
where are all these idiots coming from? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't received that information, but I'm not saying it's not real. I don't know. Yeah, we don't know everything at all.
No,
no, I can't comment on that one.
It's because you're not supposed to know everything all at once, and I think information gets revealed to us individually based upon our own individual path, and these obstacles get put in our path deliberately because it's about, you know, we chose to have all these lessons when we came here, and
Yep, we did. And there's a section in our course all about that and about self-forgiveness and self-love. And then there's a beautiful saying in it, saying, I forgive you for not knowing that I chose this for you. Beautiful soul, beautiful me, beautiful child of God. I am love, I am love, I am love. And that's all about how we chose everything that's going on in our life now. We chose the lessons we want to learn. And if we're an older soul, they're tougher than usual because we've been through a lot of stuff already and we've got to keep on upping the ante, don't we? So, you know, That's why you came here to be so adventurous, Mark, too.
And have that cosmic suit.
And when you said, "Oh, what should I do now?" They flew a plane past you just to let you know what you're going to do now. Off you go, do that.
It's true. It's true. And everybody laughed at me back then.
Yep.
You know, and everybody laughed at me 2 weeks ago in Manchester because it was 500 people there celebrating the fact that we're still here and we're getting on with things. And all of you guys that came to that event, thank you. You were all amazing. And I might do another one. And if I do, I've asked these two to come from Australia, and they kind of said yes, but I haven't decided if I'm doing it yet. So just hang on.
If you are, don't worry.
We would love that.
We've had a lot of people, not a lot, but we're starting to get people coming to us from a really cool, really amazing website in Australia that's gone global. It's called Jab Injuries Australia.
Be careful. We're on YouTube. Remember, we're on YouTube.
So isn't that J word not great?
You can talk in code. You can just go injuries.
Okay, thanks. Excuse us. Okay, so
otherwise I've got to put it on Rumble, and only 10% of the people will watch it.
Yeah. So the platform that Injuries has over 118,000 followers. Originally formed for injured people to share their stories over many pages, actually, and for others to offer their love and support. Now it's gone into Injuries Global and they've created a non-for-profit advocacy organisation for the injured, and they've got like 300,000 followers in over 300 countries now, and they've turned it to a movement called the One Humanity Movement. It was created by an Aussie guy, Matt Jordan. And the goal is to provide financial support to the injured people denied government compensation by funding small business and organisation under that platform. And they're completely 100% transparent with where the money is going. And we would like to pledge a donation tonight of $1,000 Australian to that. And we urge everyone out there to either join the subscription, which is you can be a business offering a service, and it's how much is it?
$10 a month for a business. So
we're not affiliated with it in any way.
It's such
we just want to let people know.
Amount for a business.
Just spell the web address for me again.
They're called the One Humanity Movement, and I'll get you the actual.
So that's it's not JAB, it's not jabinjuries.com.
No, it's just coming up on my
if you're on Instagram, you find them under JAB Injuries Australia, and then there's JAB Injuries Global as well, and then that
it's One Humanity Movement. One Humanity Movement. Oh, you can't see that.
Right, I'm just looking it up.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, they're doing amazing work.
Amazing, yeah.
And we're getting quite a few people coming to us from that site on Instagram who are injured. And we've had some incredible, miraculous healings.
Yes, we have
happened, and some beautiful testimonials. I had one only a couple of weeks ago, a gorgeous young woman who came to me through that site because Claire happened to put a message on there just saying that we can help, if you want to connect with us.
Don't forget to talk in here, Del.
Yeah.
George is looking for it. Yeah, this poor woman was very, very unwell, tremors in her legs.
It had affected her brain, so she was getting tremors throughout her whole body, sort of like seizures.
Same them to her.
I've just been on to the website, and it shows the number of visitors today, and it says 144. I just had to tell you that.
That's gorgeous.
Anyway, we did a harmful thing removal healing, and the next day I got this message from her. Amazing, Georgie, amazing. I am healed. Had to walk to the food bank today with a trolley and virtually ran up and crossed the main road jaywalking. Normally I can't do this as I'm too slow. And I slept 7 hours straight. I've had insomnia issues and I was on sleeping pills, but I haven't had any for a month and was only sleeping for a couple of hours at a time. I was crying as I walked today. I'm so happy. It's a miracle. I have to tell you that as we were praying yesterday, in my mind's eye, God put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You will be healed, my child." So
Wow.
Beautiful.
she feels really calm.
Well, I've actually been saying this for a couple of years that I believe in miracles. You know, when people were saying there's no way back from this, blah blah blah, I never felt it. I always felt there was a way back from it, and I still believe there is. I mean, I was watching a video with the master dowser in America, whose name I can't remember. Anyway, he was talking. Somebody will remember. He's the guy with the bullet. He has the bullets on the end of a dowsing thing, and he's brilliant.
Oh,
Can't remember his name, but the video was, he was talking about the fact that a friend of his had a well that had water with too much arsenic in it, and he asked him if he could remove it, and he did it from 3,000 miles away with this energy. And he said, "This is how powerful we really are." He removed. It took a couple of weeks, but it kept getting the water tested, and within 3 or 4 weeks, it was completely clear of any arsenic particles.
amazing.
And he said, "This is what we can do," and and that's why it's important to share these stories, because The Biology of Belief is that book by Bruce Lipton, which I read, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, and it's so powerful that this stuff is real. In all the stuff I've been doing with Ian Welch as well, he's just created a new product that I'm going to be interviewing about this week, which is having miraculous quantum effects on people, and is even changing its physical structure while it's still in the bottle, which is
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
It's all about intention. That's very
And
much.
sometimes it's even just as simple as asking God to please cleanse and clear the water of all toxins and harmful chemicals before we consume it in our home. And if you ask, often that's done. I mean, I've had our guides confirm that to me, because I was actually asking the water nymphs, the fairies, to work their magic on the mains to our house and to cleanse the water. And then the guides came through when we were doing some channeling the other day and said, "Did you know that God has been doing that for you? Your water has been cleansed?" Because they were actually encouraging me to have saltwater baths to help keep my energy clear and my energy field and everything. And I said, "But isn't that kind of bathing in toxic water because it's, through the tap?" And they said, "No, God's been cleansing your water because you've been asking him."
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go. That's a goodie. I haven't heard that one.
I didn't
Yeah,
tell
but, this goes back. I mean, I don't see people do it anymore, but even when I was a kid, we used to bless the food, and that we were giving, and I've said many times on this channel, like, people remember their mother's food because the mother's food has an ingredient and you can't buy in the shops, which is love, and that frequency goes into the food, it goes into the child, and it's all just remembering stuff that we knew from ancient wisdom. But they've spent the last 30, 40 years trying to remove all of us from the land of common sense and the land of spiritual connection, which is why you got naked people walking down the middle of Dublin and people with machetes running through, because they're just, I don't even know if they're demonically possessed anymore. I think they're all part of God's plan, because it's, we have to see this stuff. It's like, and Ireland is particular. I know Melbourne and parts of Australia were shocking in the first 2 years of this time, but Ireland's getting it all right now. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, Ireland is crazy moment. Yeah,
just lock your doors and stay in.
Would you like to hear a channeled message from the Nine, from the Andromedan Council of Nine? Because it's very interesting. This is an excerpt from the.
So I'm sitting here waiting to have a message read to me by me.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
That's try and wrap your head around that.
You are a part of it. Yeah.
Timey-wimey stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to help people understand who they are, and these are the beings that we channeled this course.
And this is from our course. This bit, they let us use it.
It is an excerpt from it. So this ancient council of benevolent beings, they work with the Galactic Federation of Worlds and Light Beings, which are like the galactic military side of things. So they went to the Galactic Federation of Worlds and Light Beings and told them what they had foreseen for planet Earth, because they have the ability to time travel. So they went forward in time to see the trajectory of Earth, and it wasn't good. And they said that intervention is necessary to save the planet. And there were a number of factors that allowed intervention to happen on Earth, because we had the ability to space travel, and also we were being endangered and, you know, on a bad trajectory due to malevolent beings intervening with us. And so we did need intervention. So this is how the Great Awakening came to be, and the Andromedan Council of Nine are in charge of the entire operation to save planet Earth. So they're very instrumental in this Great Awakening. The Nine are the most ancient beings in the universe and the multiverse. The Nine are the Venus Twins guides. They're also your guides, Mark. These original ancient council members are the Venus Twins' special, precious, beautiful, and loving spirit guides that have also gifted this course to humanity. The information contained in this course has been gifted by beings with ancient wisdom in their DNA and in their hearts. It is a gift to humanity that the Nine, alongside the Andromedan Council of Nine, have co-created to help raise the vibration, the collective consciousness of humanity, to help lift the veil of the Earth's artificial matrix that has held humanity captive in slavery to the overlords of darkness for much too long. This course, Return to Sovereignty and God, aims to save the souls of all the beautiful humans who receive a healing detailed in the course manual. So the course does have a whole manual too. Saving these souls is God's work, and we, the Council of Andromeda, are truly humbled to be bringing this holy information to humanity through the Venus Twins. They then talk about star seeds, and they say, you should all know that you are star seeds from many different galaxies and planets within this universe and the multiverse. The one thing that all these star seeds have in common is that they are ancient souls who heard the call from the Galactic Federation of Worlds and Light Beings to volunteer to make changes abiding by the universal and spiritual laws from within Earth by choosing to incarnate as humans here during the Great Awakening. So the Council of Andromeda and the Nine would like to personally thank all the star seeds for their courage and wide open hearts in helping Mother Earth raise her vibration and living their lives with God's breath in their lungs and Jesus' blood in their veins, guiding their every decision to always be of service to the Creator. This is not an easy incarnation for all of you. However, the rewards are so great, and the new Earth is awaiting you all in the beautiful and bright future that is just around the corner. Praise Jesus, and love and light to all of you bright, shining star seeds. We love you and we honour you, your galactic soul family and friends, the Andromedan Council of Nine. Thank you and God bless you. That's just a part of the course early on in it that just explains a bit about the beautiful benevolent beings and these galactic councils that are responsible for bringing this healing to humanity now.
Yes.
And we are just trying to spread the word now to find all these healers and people who resonate with the idea of becoming a healer too. You may not know that yet, that is what you're here to do. Just like Claire and I didn't know this about
Yes,
3
true.
or 4 years ago. We didn't know. We always had, you know, an affinity to spiritual ways of being, and, you know, loved crystals and all kinds of things that were along those lines, but we never had any clue that we were here to be healers.
Not a clue.
And that we've done this in every lifetime.
Oh,
and
maybe a little bit at the end of my nursing career, but that's kind of, So it's a gift from God.
Yeah.
And it's very unique, and it's the only one of its kind.
And
I know of.
This is how we will spread it throughout the world to help humanity to be healed. And we're going to have a register of all the facilitators of this course too, that'll be on our website, so that people can find the nearest one to them anywhere in the world. So we really aim to spread this and to help as many people as we possibly can.
And talk to people as well in person. We really want to do that, as this is very important, face-to-face connection as well as through, you know, interviews and things.
Yeah. And this is why we're also talking about this organisation that we just told you about, the JAB Injuries Organisation, because they are, you know, getting so many people coming to them and telling their stories of what they're going through. And so
amazing initiative.
To connect with them is really important too, to help all those people.
Well, it's in the ether. You know, there's a couple of journalists in Ireland who've been getting people to come forward and tell their stories, and it's happening more and more and more. And this is why that woman in Tenerife was asking me questions, because she was hearing things, and because people don't, that how they've managed to have millions of people still not putting the dots together, even though people are just dropping dead around them, is mind blowing. But it's part of this process. You know, Q said you have to show people, and that's what it is. It is what it is. But it's great that you're doing. You guys watching, links are below the video. Go and find the links. If you're on a TV, go onto a computer, onto YouTube or wherever, and you'll find the links easy there. Because I know some of you watching on TVs can't get to the links. So
also, if people want more information, we've just done a webinar recently, and we've got a copy of that on our YouTube channel, The Venus Twins. So
heavily edited, you know, but it's still really good. It's we just put it up tonight.
It was a live webinar where we answered a lot of questions about the course. So
it'll answer most of your questions, actually. Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, today? I just wanted to make something quick mention that, you know, after all of what we've talked about, this war isn't over. And there's still atrocities going on towards children. And I don't want people to remember, there's a beautiful woman in England called Jeanette Archer that you may know of. And she's...
I know her well. And I was talking to her only a couple of months ago. She's been on my show a couple of times as well.
Unreal. She's just putting together... she's a survivor of... I'm not sure whether you can mention it, but she's putting together an international conference exposing the atrocities and in England on July the 16th. So please support her.
Well, it was actually, you know, at the top of the show when I said Bealtaine is used by Satanists, it was actually because of what Jeanette Archer posted today on the Telegram group. I just read it, and you know, that was from her. So that's an interesting synchronicity.
Yeah, I think that was meant to be then, to finish off with that. So yeah, let's just pray for the children, you know, and for the survivors of this war.
I'd like to end on a poem, and I'm just wondering which one to play, if that's all right with you two.
Oh, of course.
I think I've got a couple of. I think it's time for this one. It's because this is for all of you guys watching. Most of you will have seen this before, but some of you might not have done. That's why I keep playing them, because even, you know, I was on Twitter this morning and one of my poems was out there, had lots of views, and people were going, "Where has this been hidden?" I'm like, well, people think, you know, you assume that people know everything you've done, but they haven't necessarily seen it. And the other reason for playing this is because this one accidentally has a running time of 4 minutes 44 seconds. You can't make it up.
How are they?
I'm in the mood for this one today. We see you twinkling in the sky, shimmering in Van Gogh's eye. Sparkling as the starseed you really are. You've come so far. Born onto the facsimile earth, all memories erased. Not one iota of your talents, of the children you once raised. I see you. You never felt accepted. You never felt the same. Your friends and family alien, often seemed insane. They pointed fingers at you. They laughed behind your back. Whilst you were dancing with fairies and angels, you were on a different track. I see you. You felt alone. You did your best. You smiled through all the pain. They beat you and abused you. They knew you'd come
to end their reign. As winters came and summers left, the leaves fell over years. The spirit voice inside your soul grew loud through your tears. I see you. They broke you down, they tricked you, they stabbed you through the heart. They feasted on your effervescence, they relished you apart. They stole your youth, they stole your money, convinced you they were right. But every time they ripped you open, closer came their night. I see you. Like the caterpillar at the end of life, entombed inside the cocoon, the hero's journey final act when all seems certain doom. Those belittle words of faith and belief diminish amidst the noise, yet you hold on, you won't let go. For the battle, you are poised. I see you! Deep, deep down, you hear the cry. In remembrance, you answer, yes. The fight was laid before you. To come is yet the best. Besmirched, belittled, tossed aside, you nearly lost your way. Letting go of all beloveds, you tried your truth to say. I see you. As the veil it dissipated, as all the solids melted, the remnants left fought their way to sovereignty, once doubted. You stood your ground, you found your power, your strength became unbounded. For you are the warrior child of this world. In your brilliance, our future founded. I see you.
They'll never make me run up a fucking sand dune for a fucking poem again. You...
What a great way.
Are you crying?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was so emotional, and that was the perfect choice. And thank goodness for the ending too, because it brought us back.
I'll never. That was absolutely stunning, Mark.
Beautiful.
Oh, congratulations! It's beautiful,
Oh.
beautiful artwork.
Well, funnily enough, that poem was screened in Hollywood at the Poetry Film Festival at the weekend. I have no idea how it snuck in to that, and I'm sure I won't win anything, but it's quite amusing that
It won our hearts.
You've
won our hearts. That was speaking to our soul. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
but
you.
these themes, these themes of sovereignty, etc., that are in there, and in everything I do, they're in what you're doing. It's been like a consistent theme. And I've been getting the messages about that for years. I tried to launch myself as the sovereign entrepreneur about 7 or 8 years ago, but nobody understood what I was talking about. So
is that right? Yeah, amazing. Gosh, that was beautiful. So many layers to that poem. It's just speaking to my heart. It's so beautiful.
Well, it was channeled. It was all channeled. And well, you said I'm a famous poet on Venus, so that's probably where it came from.
I feel really, really good after that. I feel sane. I really do.
And your guides talked about how they come through you with the message. They definitely do.
Yeah, they do. They do, and it's getting used to all of that and understanding that. And yeah, there's other things I could talk about that, but I'll wait. Wonderful to speak to you both.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us again.
That's why it's so tiring doing this job, because everything's so emotional.
Yeah,
some days are and some days aren't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lots of love to everybody down in Australia, and those guys that are doing the what's it called? One Humanity Movement. You guys watching, go to oneHumanityMovement.com and see if you can support that, and see if you can support Jeanette Archer's stuff. Thanks for bringing that up, and click the links below the video to have a look at the course from these two wonderful people. And sounds like an Oscar speech now, doesn't it? I'm doing that a lot at the moment. It's a big thanks to my mum and to my teacher. Anyway, God bless you both. I'll see you soon.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Thanks,
darling.